WWE SummerSlam could end up being a little rough for some people.
It's gonna be rough.
Today we are going through the SummerSlam match card so far of what we think the matches are going to be, giving you some early predictions of who's going to lose, who is going to just flop at SummerSlam. So the first match on the card that it seems like this is going to definitely happen, Damian Priest versus Gunther. Gunther won King of the Ring. He is going on to SummerSlam. He will be facing, we believe, Damian Priest in a match one-on-one. This one is very interesting to me because I didn't think Seth was going to win. I didn't really like the finish because we had a little botchy business that happened in there, but it is what it is. So I was really wondering, how are we going to get to SummerSlam? Priest, Gunther. They haven't had many interactions. I know this is going to start building up as we get to SummerSlam. I really feel like Damian Priest is going to lose at SummerSlam. Now, because he won, or he held the belt at Money in the Bank, Priest has now had several months as champion. And now, where we are right now, I'm starting to come around to Damian Priest. When he first won the belt, I thought, nah, he's not going to hold it for more than a month, it seems. They weren't doing very much. Every time he's had a match, he's putting out better quality, better performances. To me, it's getting better and better with Priest, and I'm enjoying his run as World Heavyweight Champion. But it's Gunther. Nobody stops Gunther. The only way this could happen is if Gunther gets, somehow it's a DQ finish, it's a schmaz. I don't think they're going to do that, because then you got Bash at Berlin. You're going to have Gunther going in there as world champion is my guess. So what I think is going to happen, because we have everything going on with Judgment Day, with Rhea Ripley returning, which we'll talk about in a bit, I do think Priest is going to lose at SummerSlam, but it won't be just straight up. Yes, I do believe there will be chops. I do believe power bombs, splashes. I think that Gunther is going to have his way with Priest in probably an excellent match, but I think it's going to be at the hands of the Judgment Day. Now, I think that we are going to see a lot of Judgment Day kind of implode at SummerSlam. I think this is it. I think as we get several weeks of this build and Rhea Ripley is back, she's dealing with Liv Morgan, she's dealing with Dom, Priest is starting to become really that babyface. He shows respect to Seth Rollins. I think Rhea Ripley's probably going in the babyface direction to get revenge on Liv, and I think that's going to put Rhea and Damian Priest on the outside at Judgment Day. I think it will happen. I think Finn Balor and the rest of Judgment Day are going to cost Priest the belt, thus moving Priest over to do his Judgment Day storyline for the next several months. So Gunther is winning, Priest is gonna lose. WWE Women's Championship, Bayley. She's gonna have her match with Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. Now, this is going to build and build and build for a couple of weeks on SmackDown, and I think ultimately Bayley is losing this championship. I think SummerSlam is going to be a hot show. I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff developing the stories. I think Bayley loses, not to Nia Jax. What I predict to happen is going to be Bayley is losing, Nia Jax is going to destroy Bayley. Like, it's going to be that story, kind of like Bayley did with Piper Niven, of having to overcome the obstacles of the giant monster just destroying her, throwing her around. I think Bayley is going to just inch out a win, sneak out a win against Nia Jax, only for Tiffany Stratton to cash in Money in the Bank and beat Bayley. Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton have this relationship thing going on right now, and I think that they will build Tiffany Stratton every single week, and then boom, they'll get the cash in. So sure, Bayley might win her match against Nia Jax, but I think it's only going to be coming from Tiffany Stratton cashing in, getting that belt on her, and then you're setting up a lot of matches, because then you could have Tiffany versus Bayley in a rematch, Nia Jax in there, you could bring in Naomi, you could do a lot with Stratton getting that belt, and then Bayley goes on the chase, and that's a lot of fun too. So Bayley might lose. The next match on the card, before we get into that match, I do want to ask though, guys, if you can, I was looking at all the stats on the channel, and I can see that we have 75% of people are not subscribed to the channel. If you can help us out and grow, hit the notification bell so you're updated on when we drop new content like this. The next match I want to talk about though is going to be for the WWE Tag Team titles. DIY won the tag titles in Toronto on SmackDown. They took out Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and I don't know necessarily what this matchup is going to be, if it's just going to be a rematch. We know that Theory is kind of on the outs and he's pushing away from Grayson Waller, but I think they could tell a really good story for several months after SummerSlam. I don't think that DIY is going to lose the belts. I actually think that Theory and Grayson Waller will lose in a rematch, but I think it will actually be more of a multi-man match. I think we get DIY, A-Town Down Under, and the Street Profits triple threat match for the tag team titles. Get something fun at SummerSlam in the tag division. But I think DIY just getting those belts, they retain, but it's going to be because A-Town Down Under crumbles. So A-Town Down Under losing at SummerSlam. The Street Profits also then thus losing. Okay, let's go. The United States Championship. Ya boy, LA Knight, yeah. Versus Logan Paul. Yeah, Logan Paul is losing. Yeah. LA Knight needs to get a championship under his belt. Literally. Like, he's got to get a championship. He has not had it yet. He hasn't won Money in the Bank 2 years in a row. He's going to get into a really fun program. And you know what? They have built this and laid groundwork for Logan Paul, LA Knight, for like a year. It's been a long time. Every time they've interacted, they've done some stuff. It's all been in there. I think at SummerSlam, you need to give LA Knight a run with a belt. Let's see what happens. Let's see what he can do as United States champion. Logan Paul has been I think a good champion for somebody who doesn't come around all that often, but I need to see the US title on SmackDown defended more regularly. LA Knight wrestles every single week, and you know what? I want to see guys like LA Knight go up against Bobby Lashley, go up against, who else is it? Carmelo. He'll probably have a program with Carmelo Hayes coming out of SummerSlam. So Logan Paul losing to LA Knight. Yeah. The WWE World Tag Team titles. Judgment Day has them right now. I don't think they get defended at SummerSlam. It feels like with WWE a lot of the time with the PLEs that they don't always pick every single belt to be defended. And the tag titles definitely, so if they're not in programs, like they're relegated, you know, to Raw and SmackDown shows before the PLE. I don't think that Judgment Day, Finn and Damian Priest are going to defend them. Because I don't, who would they fight against? Like, who's in the tag division right now that they are having a feud with? Nobody. So I don't think that we are going to get the Raw tag team titles. I think Judgment Day is holding on to those for a while, so that's off the board right now. But speaking of Judgment Day, let's talk about Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Rhea made her big shocking return on Raw. She chased Liv Morgan out of the way. Dom was grinding it out with Liv Morgan every opportunity. It's finally gonna go for her. He's gonna get his moment. He's gonna go in there and schmooze and have things happen to himself with Liv Morgan, and Rhea just blocked him, just cut them all off. So it's gonna get really interesting. Rhea Ripley, though, I predict is going to lose at SummerSlam. And I think if you guys watched yesterday's video, we talked about Rhea Ripley's return, but I think Rhea loses at SummerSlam. I think she needs to. I don't think Rhea gets the belt now, because if you give Rhea the belt right now, then what? Then what are we doing, huh? Then it's over, story's over. Not with Triple H. Triple H runs long-term booking. He wants to go long with these stories, and he will. So I really think Rhea loses at SummerSlam, because I think that they need to keep the story going for a long time, like the whole year. I can see Liv Morgan going to WrestleMania, and then Rhea overcomes the odds and gets rid of Liv Morgan and destroys her. But I think it will be because of shenanigans with Dom. This is either going to end up with like Dom as special guest referee, or as a lot of people have suggested in the comments of other videos, and I agree, we need basically a ladder match, Dom on a pole match kind of thing. Like, we need either Dom on a pole, or we need a ladder match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio. That's probably what we should get ultimately. Dom as the ref would be very interesting, because you could have both of them in there, Rhea and Liv, and basically tell Dom, because they're all in control of Dom. Like, everyone bosses Dom around. Dom likes it. So I think what you do is you have Rhea and Liv in there, and they're pointing at Dom and go, you know what, you referee this match and you decide. And then you get a crazy wonk finish in there. Liv retains. Rhea, I think, needs to lose, though, because you need to keep this whole Judgment Day story happening. Plus, if Priest loses, then you got two of them on the outside, and maybe the whole turn and crumbling of Judgment Day then happens. Now, I'm assuming we're going to get the Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker in a rematch. Sami loses. Sami has like defied the odds. He has been like a dominant champion now, which is, he's the underdog, but not anymore. I did not like the Money in the Bank match, Braun and Sami. I was there live for Money in the Bank, and this was my least favorite match because nothing happened. Like, it was a straightforward Raw match with the IC title on, like one haluva kick and it was over. He's a wrecking machine. I think they need to kind of correct course. And I think you need to see Braun Breaker go in there, and this match with Sami, he does not make mistakes. Braun made some fluke mistakes when he had his match with Sami. I think they need to make Braun Breaker very dominant. Like, he's training harder against Sami and he's not going to have it anymore. and Braun defeats him. Sami Zayn loses at SummerSlam is my prediction. He's had a good run since WrestleMania. He does not need to have the title. This also, as I look at it, basically I'm saying that like almost every champion loses at SummerSlam.
Shut up, bitch!
It could happen. We could see a lot of shakeups. But the next match on the card, let's talk about CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Not confirmed officially yet, but this match is totally happening at SummerSlam. It's just a blood feud. It's a grudge match. Like, these two have been going at it for a year and they haven't even had a match yet. So it's finally gonna culminate. And I honestly think that they are going to do this for several months. They could do Drew versus Punk until WrestleMania, and you sprinkle in Seth Rollins in there too. There is so many options they could do with this match, but I don't think that this is going to end very clean. And I honestly predict, and I am a fan, but I think CM Punk needs to lose at SummerSlam. I think Drew winning at SummerSlam in some form or fashion, either foot on the ropes or chair shots, ref bump, somehow Drew in the Claymores, and somehow Drew gets an ugly win over CM Punk. Not clean. It cannot be just Claymore 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring and Punk loses. They're going to want to continue this. This is the first match between these two, and it's not going to be the last. And if we know anything from based on the history of this entire feud, it has gone back and forth every single month, where each of them are costing and screwing the other person over, especially Punk. But we are going to have Seth Rollins involved at some point. And I think that you could tell, again, multi-month story in terms of them being able to wrestle. It's going on for a year. Like, this is like going to be 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. But I think Punk needs to lose. I think Drew needs to get the win in order to kind of redeem himself from the screwed over cash in. But let's get Drew that win. I think it's necessary. Punk can get the other wins later on too. And I'm a Punk guy. And then what I assume will be the main event, Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. I think Solo loses. I think that Cody is going to retain because it's Cody Rhodes. I do not see Solo. Like, I'm of two minds, really. I would like to see Solo win and Bloodline gets the title, because I just think it'd be interesting to be kind of cool. But no, I think Solo loses, and he is going to lose to like a 3 crossroads at the end of SummerSlam. But this is Bloodline, and now we're in Bloodline story mode. Just like we had a Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, there is going to be that ref bump, ladies and gentlemen, maybe 2 ref bumps, but we are going to get a breakdown and a schmozzy finish like you've never seen before at SummerSlam. They got to do something big. So I think Solo will lose. Ultimately, ding, 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 Cody is the winner, retains his belt. But I think Kevin Owens and Randy Orton will even the odds and try to take out Fatu and the rest of the Bloodline. They'll scatter. Maybe you get a Jey Uso in there too. You never know. At the end of it all, Cody holds that belt, or he's on the ground destroyed by the Bloodline, but he retains the title. I think Roman Reigns, music hits, and out comes the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, for a stare down or a beat down of Solo Sikoa to then get things started with Roman once again. And then we get something at WrestleMania when it's Roman and Rock, Solo, whatever it is. But SummerSlam is probably that moment. You've written Paul Heyman off TV for a few weeks. Paul Heyman got taken out 2 weeks ago now. And then you got about 6 weeks, 7 weeks of Paul Heyman being gone by the time you get to SummerSlam. Get Paul Heyman stand out on that stage and then just look, and then out comes Roman Reigns to confront the Bloodline. And that's how I think they end SummerSlam. But what are your predictions for SummerSlam? If you want to talk more WWE, like Rhea Ripley, shocking return on Monday Night Raw to face Dum Dum and Liv, click this video right here as we go through all of that and what that story is going to look like. Have a great day. See ya.